9:24 on a Sunday, boys. Happy Boardcast. How are you all doing today, Lance?
Gospel.
We're here with William, the slam maker, and Kang, the not One Piece Bandai attending Japanese thing.
Yeah.
How are we feeling, boys?
William does have 2 kids, so we can call him a slam maker.
Slam maker. Love it.
Yeah.
What is that?
Don't worry about it. Moving on. What's been nice about this space is as the weather's been cooling down.
It's been less of a nightmare.
The sun isn't coming through and just trying to kill us.
Absolutely.
Well, next week it's going to be hot again.
Would you rather have a room that faces the sunrise or the sunset? What's worse?
Ooh, sunrise.
Sunrise? Yeah, but if you're a morning person and you get up nice and early, it's like the
Sunset's hot.
dawn of the sun coming in and welcoming you into the day.
But sunset means your room's in front of the sun all day long here in Australia, or at least in Western Australia, and that means your room is going to be fucking
Magma,
hot.
yeah.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Yeah, I say sunrise.
Yeah, but he said what's worse.
Oh, yeah, true. I say sun.
Okay.
All
in agreement.
He asked which one would you want. I said I want sunrise.
Did you say which one you want or which one was worse?
I can't remember.
It's a shame
In the
we
recording,
don't
I
have any
wanna
physical way of knowing that.
All right. Fair
You
enough.
guys, morning people, would you describe yourself as early risers?
I feel, unfortunately, I personally am both a late night person and a morning person. So it doesn't leave a lot in between.
Bad combo.
The double jeopardy, the gambit. bro.
Yeah. It's I'm probably going to bed at 2 o'clock and also waking up at 5. So it's fine. It's
I don't
efficient.
know. I want to be a late person, but I have to be an early person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The kids are on you. I felt like we had to get up early and get ready today because I was trying to go down to the shop beforehand because we had some fucking animals in the building yesterday, and there's a lot of food and stuff just under the tables for no reason. So it's gonna be a little mop and a vacuum. I don't know what was going on, but it's a war zone down there. In between their little toesies on the ground, there was just nuts and food and just things. But they did buy a lot of food and some plushies and stuff yesterday from the shop. So I was like, I don't want to complain, but just somehow keep a majority of your food that you've purchased in your mouth if you can. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, every now and again you get some...
Correct.
We just don't have table manners.
Sorry?
What does that? Where does that happen? You know what I mean? So...
I don't know. I think the average attendee of a game store gets a bad rap sometimes on the maybe lack of hygiene or bathing or behavior sometimes, you know what I mean? But in general, it's mostly pretty good. And I also think that across the board, like I think if we could... today I think we're going to talk about the painting and the ranking of things. We should rank the different demographics of players.
Stereotypes.
Yeah,
we've done that though. We had our guest on Riley to also help us with stereotyping.
maybe
Warhammer players.
Maybe less the stereotyping and more like the different games.
Okay.
So like where's Blood Bowl players rank among the like
Dad Hammer.
Yeah, Dad Hammer. So most of them are showered. They're pretty good. Behavior's pretty good.
Love the Blood Bowl players.
Yeah,
Blood Bowl players, fantastic.
And now we'll let's
They're all self-organized as well.
Let's attend those against, say, like the Commander players on the Thursday night.
Okay.
Are the Blood Bowl is going to be more hygiene or less hygiene than
Blood Bowl is
Commander
slightly more hygiene, but the Commander players spend more money.
That is true. That's
you go.
true. Yeah, they've got more expendable cash, less children.
Less mouths to feed.
I also think that our Commander players overall in the past like 5 years should give them some kudos because I feel like they've upgraded.
Yeah.
I would say that 5 years ago they were on the lower scale of the hygiene levels, but today they're doing pretty good. Like the community has evolved.
I would say Magic the Gathering has diversified a lot and also has brought in a lot more like of what I would describe as like the less traditionally nerdy culture. Because now I get a lot of people that come through on the weekends that want to just buy Commander decks to play games with their mates. It has expanded itself into the realm of board gamers, and with that comes the casual gamer.
It's true.
Which is interesting.
More people, more regular human beings, William.
Yeah.
But then you have like our One Piece and our Fab, and they're like our community specifically feel like pretty well-to-do regular human beings where they come through and you're like, oh, you dress nice as well. Like you've put in additional thought to the process.
I like to imagine that with the competitive side of card games, that requires a minimum level amount of income to sustain that, which means that most people that play competitive card games have jobs.
Yeah.
And in order to have a job, usually someone has to at least have a level of, a level of getting their shit together.
They have to try.
Yeah.
It's hard in Australia. We come from there's a lot of tradies that mix in with the regular group of players. And sometimes
The tradies will make a lot of money.
yeah, they do, but they can also come after work just a little ripe. And I get it. I sometimes I'm unfortunately in the same position. Now that I live very much closer to the where the shop is, I am a bit functionally more able to go home and shower before coming in. But
Here's a story.
I get it.
Here's a story I haven't told, but yesterday at a shop, it's Saturday, right? So we had so on the weekend crowd, we get a lot of the market folks, and the market comes there's a really diverse culture of people that come through the markets. Every now and again, you get some like country folks, which obviously have very strong opinions. You see where I'm leading here?
Always blends well.
Always blends in well. And we had a family come through, and the oldest son definitely was a little bit on the spectrum, right? And he walks over to the counter and they have a look at everything, and the mom's trying to talk to me about, hey, what type of games we do and such. And then the son, who I would assume is probably in his early 20s, but very clearly, a little bit autistic. Buzzing. He points to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle display. He points at April O'Neil.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, they made April O'Neil a N-word.
Oh my God. It really? Is it huge in public?
Yeah.
Crazy
and then I've never seen the mom go, just grabs the son and leaves.
Damn.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's I don't know if you get a lot, but like on the weekends every now and again you do some colorful people like that.
Yeah, you do get some colorful people.
Yeah.
There's a guy that comes in regularly, and sorry if you're listening to this. It seems unlikely, but you might be because he does come in regularly. But he wears alternative clothing, I'll say. A lot of like fishnets, a lot of like band clothing, I guess, like kind of like early 90s punk kind of vibe. And he has a lot of these metal t-shirts on, and it's like Cannibal Corpse and Death to Babies and stuff like this. Very, very visceral. And then all the imagery on there is also exceptionally 18 plus, very violent.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like the one of the ones who was wearing a couple of weeks ago was like a naked woman, a quite attractive one, I guess, being eviscerated in half over a
It's
sword.
very traditional for deathcore kind of album arts.
Yeah.
Right over that scene.
And he's like, oh, I guess you walk around like this in front of children.
It's yeah. Because the thing about that whole like deathcore, grindcore, and all that, like I guess more heavy metal genre is that once you get accustomed to that scene, that's all pretty normal.
It feels normal.
But for an everyday person walking around, it's not technically kosher to be wearing people getting eviscerated on your shirt.
I can only imagine the look of the elderly in the market, just bewildered by the scene that they're witnessing.
Yeah. But from what I gather from that scene, though, that is the effect they're going for.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So they're trying to go for that shock and awe. Like if it makes old people angry, they're happier.
It's true. They did buy knickknacks from the shop, so I wasn't complaining.
As long as they're purchasing customer.
Yeah.
The rules is simple.
All morals go out the window at that point.
I can be bought.
Speaking about bought, Warhammer products can be bought, and we're going to talk about Warhammer.
It's been a hot minute with the Warhammer.
Yeah, we haven't. According to Spotify, the last time we actually had an episode talking about tabletop hobbies was July last year.
It feels like, from someone who's involved in it regularly, that while the releases haven't necessarily slowed down, I would say that the grandeur excitement around that hobby in general, like what major shakeups have we had really in the last couple of years? Like I know Trench Crusade has come out and it's been quite popular. I feel like that's really hitting the ground with like a lot of like deep lore, and I think has returned to the grim dark that maybe Warhammer 40k used to have.
Wade's a big fan of Trench Crusade, and he showed me the art book he got for it, and the art book is superb.
Yes.
So
have you seen much of the Trench Crusade, William?
No.
It's like the whole concept is it's Earth. Back when I think
Is this Warhammer or some new board game?
It's a new tabletop game.
Okay.
Right?
it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah. So the whole concept is it's the Earth, right? But it's back in World War I to World War II.
World War One. Alternate history World War One with a lot of occult themes.
Yeah, like the gates of hell have opened up in different parts.
Sounds like Hellgate London.
So like, is there another thing?
The Xbox game from fucking what?
Wait, have you not played Hellgate London?
No.
Holy shit, that's so cool.
That's some deep cut lore right there.
I don't know
What the fuck, William?
Oh,
Where did
right.
you draw that?
Let's
Hellgate
London
London was like a defunct pseudo MMO game from
Correct.
the early
was
Xbox
supposed
3...
to defeat Diablo.
Yeah, early Xbox
really?
360 era, bro.
No, it's like computer as well.
Was it computer?
Yeah,
sure.
so the gates of hell open, and then
We're probably talking 2012.
and then
What the fuck are you talking about, William?
Templars with like suit of armor, so you can choose like a tank, a spellcaster, or like a.
Funnily enough, William, yes, Trench Crusade is kind of like Hellgate.
Holy shit!
Did somebody just straight up jack the concept jack?
I was like, I get it, like
Nah.
alternate thing, like Hellgate. Like, hey, that's Hellgate London, bro.
Let's be honest, alternate history
Wait,
World
let
War
me-
One isn't unique.
Okay, yeah,
it's true.
Warhammer is kind of alternate
hold
history
on.
World War
Let me
One.
Google that shit. What's it called?
Trench Crusade.
Trench
Crusade.
Crusade.
So anyway, so Trench Crusade was a very successful Kickstarter, bought off the back of it's designed to have a unique theme with incredibly well-produced art, and it's a print and play. The big one is that it's a print and play, so it's going to have STL files you buy and you print it, you fill it yourself. It was trying to do something that GW wasn't, which is, hey, offering a more cost-effective alternative.
Yeah.
That being said, while I love the theme of Trench Crusade and what it provides, I just think that the deployment model they went for is not a sustainable model. I think it is very good to have a product out in the wild, but in order to sustain this long term, it's not an effective strategy.
Hellgate London, baby.
Yeah, the problem is with the when there's a low profitability with something like Trench Crusade it's actually, do you know what? It's insane. It looks pretty close to this, really.
Yeah.
Hellgate London.
The concept is quite similar. Because the whole reality of like Trench Crusade is that they have like advanced technologies, even though it's kind of set around World War One. Well, it's hundreds of years after World War One, but it's like some of the technology is frozen in time because they haven't got the resources to allocate to research. But in other ways, specifically the ways of war, there's been a lot of research because they have to keep funneling like resources into that kind of that I don't know thing, right?
Because they went very deep with like an occult theme as well, and the name of it is Trench Crusade. Crusade evoking like religious elements. A lot of the factions have deep kind of occulty religious elements. Like there is a faction that is very much reminiscent of what I thought like Catholic themes.
Yeah, very
so
much
you have things like the crucifix, or you have battle nuns. People in robes,
yeah, you got a lot
pilgrims.
of the Trench Pilgrims is like one of the main factions, I guess, and it is very much like what you'd expect from maybe like what would you call the crusade? Like, I guess the ancient crusades, but then
So it sounds like Doom too.
It is very Doom inspired. Yeah. Well, I would say that whole genre is very Doom is inspired by that genre.
But I think that's what I was saying is like when you come a lack of profitability in model, like selling the STLs. It requires people doing it for the love of it. And the problem is when somebody stops having the love of it, or they have maybe things crop up in their life, the game overall suffers because there isn't a team there that's supported by the financial like concept to allow it to continue going.
And once again, it's one of those games with an incredible minis, incredible art, but it was made by people who are designers, but not necessarily game designers. So I've had a lot of feedback around the rules being vague or not very balanced. In terms of a gameplay perspective, it kind of is a drop in drop. People are kind of like so on the gameplay.
We ran an event pretty early on.
Is it released?
It's out.
We ran a tournament day midway through last year.
Yeah.
And we got I think we got
Trench Crusade.
Yeah.
We had a community run like learn to play day, effectively. Learn to play tournament day.
Do you have the miniatures? I would like to see it. They good?
The miniature, it depends, because the vast majority is print and play. It comes down to the quality of how you print it out.
Oh, what about the ones that they provide?
They do sell the minis, and some of the minis they sell aren't too bad as well.
Okay.
Yeah. There are also starting to just sell boxed minis now as well. So, example, we actually have Trench Crusade boxes in stock.
Nice.
When you look at like a lot of the lore videos on the internet, a lot of people are directly referring to what the equivalent is in Warhammer 40k. They're like, oh, this is just like this, but it has this different element to it.
Right.
And so it's very much supposed to be what Warhammer 40k felt like in probably the 80s and the 90s, where they're not skipping over like the diabolicalness of like Slanesh or like a war where they're fighting each other and both sides have gone like crazy or something. You know what I mean?
My favorite factions in Trench Crusade. So you have obviously it's Crusade, right? So you have kind of like the Catholic Crusaders, and then you have the Saracens, but it's very much a World War I inspired Saracen army with very like I want to say early Persian Empire feel. So you have like the Janissaries, they're all in robes, sort of falcons on them. Yeah, very cool aesthetic.
Yeah, a big part of it is that the other religions of the world have effectively been abandoned because the realization that the I guess the Christian things have been decidedly proven correct by the fact that now the gates into hell
is opening up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting, but I think a big part of it was a lot of these kind of Kickstarter games, they come and go, whereas Trench Crusade feels like it has a bit more legs. They've gone really deep on the lore, which makes people be more invested for sure.
Right.
A big part of Warhammer's success really is the fact that when you finish the game or you finish painting for the day, it doesn't end. You know what I mean? It sits rent free in your head. There's books and stories and audio books and all this extra material, video games. It can really kind of like impress itself into your life, and you can, I don't know, you know, we own the hobby. It's like you can be a Warhammer guy. You know what I mean? Like it can really be quite pervasive and kind of be a lot of people's personalities. And that's not to have a dig at anybody. It's like it's no different when you get someone who's like, I'm a tennis guy. You know what I mean? You spend all your time thinking about and doing tennis. Right?
The primary storefront for Trench Crusade is My Mini Factory. So
it's a print STL print place, right?
It's My Mini Factory's website that provides STL files, right? And their service for uploading files and sharing files. The Trench Crusade website directly itself just links to their.
So how do you make money if people just share the files?
They buy exactly right. They say that that's why. So my problem with Trench Crusade is that once the files are out there in the wild, people can just share the files around each other and not have to pay for anything, which means there's a limited profitability on the STLs themselves.
The game won't grow then, right?
Which is why they realized that which is why they also are just selling minis as well at some point. They are now starting to sell minis.
Yeah. It also could be like if the team is small, like, you know, GW, for example, will have a massive team like of people all around the world. Whereas if you keep a small team, you only have to sell like a few promo books or a rule book every year. If you're selling those to like in the scheme of
but the issue is with, okay, like for example, right? Like your company won't grow.
Correct.
Yeah. So like there's no drive for you to do it anymore.
Well, I think with Trench Crusade, they're just a passion project of like a small kind of.
It doesn't. Okay, I can agree with passion, but your passion will last as long as your wallet is.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you got bills to pay.
Hey man, we've met a lot of passionate hobbyists in our lives. Not all of them require all of the living. A lot of, you know, we've known a few guys over the years who do like say professional Warhammer painting, right? And not all of them are making a crazy amount of money, but they still persist with the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe even when some of their external life pressures are pushing on them. You know what I mean?
The thing with the Trench Crusade thing is that it also, because of its affordability, it is targeting for a lower socioeconomic demographic, right?
Yeah.
It is more welcoming of people who are going to be like, just can't really necessarily afford Warhammer. So it's a very different demographic. And you're correct, that demographic also is just probably less sustainable for the future of a company as well. Because when we ran that Trench Crusade tournament as well, the people that came through were also people who very clearly just didn't have jobs and we're looking to get an affordable Warhammer alternative.
Yeah. There was a little bit of that for sure. So, I don't know. It's really.
I don't want to label stereotypes.
But if you're putting it for like files for people to print and you can't gain any like financial gain from it, it's just not going to be sustainable for your company in the future, regardless of you're running a small team or what. But you're still going to have like, you just don't have the. You can probably make yourself look at, you're going to have passion for 5 years, but your circumstances change in 5 years. And then, cost of living goes higher and then like, I'm going to drop this project. It's like, you know, a project won't last long and let's say you want to play it. I want to play it. Now I want to invest in it and I want to like put time in it. But if I know it's not going to last 5 years on, then like, what's the point, right?
There is also the inherent challenge of, unless you are a person that has a 3D printer or knows people with 3D printers, buying the actual physical mini is still easier.
Yeah,
correct.
It's a lot easier to walk into a shop and pick up a box. Yeah.
And just go. And you can just start painting and playing straight away. In
the scheme of things, are we seeing much else on the tabletop? I know like some of the boys have been playing Drop Flick Commander. Yeah. And I've actually seen a couple like additional people. Like Trent was playing it that day with Kai. He'd come like mostly from like Armada, the Star Wars games. So that was interesting. I don't know if that's
the big one that's coming out and is available for us to pre-order as well is the StarCraft miniatures game.
Oh yeah.
So the StarCraft miniatures game was a fairly successful Kickstarter. There's been a lot of buzz around our general Northern Boards chatter around the StarCraft miniatures game from people who've played StarCraft or are passionate about like kind of the Blizzard franchise. I'm just not too sure about once again, it's a miniatures game, but like Halo, what's the Halo one again? Halo Flashpoint, where it's set within a very specific franchise where you can only release X amount of minis before you run out of ideas. It's once again reminds me of a miniatures game that comes out more like a board game. Yeah. You get it, you share with your friends, you play for a while, but it's not something that you play forever.
There's not enough depth there to continue on. Like even like that's the almighty shame of all of the Star Wars games is once they've hit a release window after the first 3 to 5 years, there's not that much else that they can expand to.
Correct.
And like I'm sure the StarCraft community will be large, but in comparison to maybe other things, not that large. So the people look often very passionate about the way that things should be. And just like with Star Wars, if they try to divert, and change anything to then allow them to have new things to produce, a lot of the hardcore community that they rely on will also be like, well, it's not supposed to be like that. And you're like, what do you want them to do?
There's a bit of an irony of StarCraft, which was very much a spin-off of Warhammer universe, has gone 360 and releasing their own miniatures game, going back to the origins of Warhammer plastic minis. The minis themselves, though, that everything they've shown off and what I've seen of the StarCraft miniatures game is very high quality and looks very good. I imagine people that are really into StarCraft will love it. I was tempted to order some boxes for Northern Boards, except the starter box is $450.
Whoa!
It's $450 retail for the starter box. I don't know what the Kickstarter was like. Maybe it was a different pricing point of the Kickstarter.
That's crazy.
But for us to sell the 2-player starter box, which contains the Terrans and the Zerg, it's $450.
Yeah.
And if you want the Protoss separately, it's a separate box.
I'm only assuming that they're doing the thing where it's like, oh, well, you're not going to pay $450. What you do is you're going to find a mate and do $225 each. Yeah.
You do get a lot of minis out of the box. And what if they're pricing at a point where, like, realistically, Warhammer boxes are around that $400 mark as well. When Warhammer is going to come out with 11th edition, that 11th edition box is probably going to be also about $450, I reckon.
I guess, we were talking about fuel earlier before the podcast started. I guess plastic is just made out of fuel.
Yeah. So I think in Dominus.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. So I think in Dominus box, which is the 9th edition launch box, which is around when Northern Boards first kicked off, right? That was a massive success for Games Workshop. That box was what, 300 something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
300 a round box, and then 10th edition launch.
I feel
box,
like that was it was documented and talked about a lot. That was a lot of money.
One of the best value boxes of all time.
Well, because that was COVID.
Yeah, true.
Because you're not going to do. That's
Correct.
why
it's true.
You got nothing else to do.
And then we had the 10th edition box, which was, what was the name of that one again? Whatever. 10th edition launch box was about, I think it was $420-ish.
Was that the one that had the Necrons and the Space Marines?
That's the one that had, no,
Yes.
the original.
No,
that's
that's
9th edition box is Necrons. Vermintide, not Vermintide.
No, Vermintide is AOS, bro.
Anyway, the 10th edition box with Tyranids was about $420
Yeah.
Yeah, the 11th edition box is probably going to go north of $400, probably close to $500. If I was to make a estimate, that's how I feel as the price trend.
I feel like tabletop or miniatures games nowadays is kind of like, don't you feel like it's just dropping its flair a little bit?
I definitely feel
Leviathan was the 10th edition.
Yes,
Leviathan,
that's
yeah.
it.
Leviathan.
I don't know if that's just us because we've been in the hobby a long time, and I think there's a lot of distractions. I think Kang and I are also like running on a bit of fumes at the moment. I don't know if you feel, William, like there's been a lot, like a lot of releases, a lot going on. There's a lot to manage, and it leaves a little bit of less time for the wonder of the hobby at the moment for us. I think,
it's going to be that way because everyone wants a piece of the market share right now, right? And of course, like big companies like GW or Wizards of the Coast like captures a substantial amount of that market share pie. The problem is with now hobby like Warhammer and stuff is just that it does not give the instant gratification of like a hobby.
Yeah, okay.
Like if you
cards,
correct.
You can play straight away.
If I am playing Warhammer, I invested a substantial amount of money in Warhammer, the hobby and stuff, and I see my friends in Pokemon who just invested $500, and then he's like, I'm getting back $2,000 from. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a financial.
It's just like,
here.
Well, what the hell am I doing with Warhammer? And I have to buy paint, and if I sell this army that I've just painted, it's gonna be 1/3 the price that I paid.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah, especially if you're financially minded, then yes, there's a.
I'm sure everyone has a little. I would say
there's definitely plenty of hobbyists who buy and stack in their like.
I know what it's stacking, but I'm just saying that. You still want some value out from it, right? Yeah. When you decide to sell it, it's like, I want some value. Not like, you can get it for $10. Like, I bought it for $100.
I do think because we're small business people and we see the relevance of it, the importance of the value of that box is, I think it's more.
Oh, of course, definitely.
I think we notice it a little bit more.
And also, like, a lot of people want just open a box and able to play, but unfortunately, like for a game like Warhammer, you need to have a process.
Yeah.
There's a process from A to Z where you open the box, you look at the rules, you look at the assembly book, you assemble, or you can start playing, but it's not painted.
The ultimate challenge of Warhammer has always been trying to onboard new players and trying to do more just more better clarify the path that it takes to finally reach the endpoint, which is having an army and then playing properly in like a local environment. You get a lot of new players who just jump in being like, oh, it's like a board game, right? I can just buy this box and start playing straight away. And it's not as simple as that.
Yes.
I do like the idea of them taking the bits, all the like the unbuilt bits of the box and just putting them in little piles on them and then moving them around.
Yeah.
Just play with the base.
It's very
and then
true.
with that challenge also comes, you get a lot of young people who are really passionate. They watch a lot of videos and want to jump into the Warhammer hobby. And it's hard to convey to the parents the steps required to be like, hey, I know your 11-year-old son really wants to play Warhammer, but there is just take these little bits first, get him painting and playing first and see how it goes before he jumps into
the GW route, Kang, where you sell them $3,000 worth of minis on day one, right? Don't worry that the Space Marines aren't going to play with the Orcs that aren't going to play with the...
Exactly. Just go off which ones he looks the prettiest and go for it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That was like that young lad who bought the, what was it, the bolt action box? There was a kid around Christmas who came in with his mum. And what do you reckon he was, 9, 10?
He was young.
And he wandered around the shop for quite a while, like kind of umming and ahhing what he was going to buy. And, you know, and quite often it happens a lot with the markets that people come through. It's not a problem. People come through and mostly just have a look around and eventually leave without making a purchase. Again, not a problem. It's just, it is, it's part of being being a hobby store, which has very specific interests, and then people coming through that are just having to look, right? Anyway, this kid walks around for a while. At the end, he comes up to Kang with bolt action, like a whole starter kit for bolt action. And it's like, there's probably like 100 minis.
It was a third edition, I think it was a third edition bolt action box.
Yeah.
The brand new one. And the kid was just a history nerd, just loves history. Loves World War II.
And I was like, we'll have to introduce him to the other bolt action players, all 45 years older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that that's the barrier that the tabletop hobby that needs to break, which is the process. There's no easy way to.
The problem is there's no easy way to do it without also, I don't know, alienating in franchise players too as well. Like if you make it too easy, and franchise players go, what the hell is happening to my game?
Yeah, so
that's not too easy. The problem is with these miniatures that you can't. There's no easy way out. If there already is a way out.
Well,
right?
a good example is that Warhammer game, Underworlds, where it comes in it's a much more compact game. Still quite good, but it comes with a deck of cards where it gives you the actions you need. So you don't have to memorize the whole book because everything actions on the card. Plus the models themselves are clicked together. But then it's straight away acknowledged that because they're making the click together models, they're not as good as regular models. You know what I mean? So it's like as soon as they start to try and do anything that goes in the direction of what you're talking about and that people want, people straight away be like, well, now it's too easy. It's shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I've worked with regular Warhammer where it's nice soft plastic and you can cut through it, and then they have the Underworlds model is like the colored plastic that they print from I think it's
way more
China,
brittle.
right? Yeah, it's brittle and it's quite hard, and if you want to cut through it, maybe it's not as, I don't know what's the word, like solid in a way that your knife can then direct through it.
Yeah.
It'll find pockets of like clear plastic on the inside and like jump around a bit more, which makes it hard to hobby with. And I think there's had some really cool models and individual ones over the years, but you can't do anywhere near as much modding and editing and stuff, a big part of it is like a lot of
posing,
times their feet.
Compose it,
With Warhammer specifically, their bits and their feet and their legs are individual, so you can put them on different types of bases and stuff like that. Whereas those click together models, their feet are molded into the base. So if you've got to try and scrape sometimes between, like I do a lot of like the fantasy stuff, right? So I'm there trying to scrape the toes of a monkey off the bottom of the base and not lose half the foot,
I encourage everyone, if you're using those click together, like no glue required assembly Warhammer miniatures, still use glue and cut all the
joints,
push fits together. Cut all the push fit bits off and just connect them together.
Have you ever guys used an ultrasonic blade?
Ultrasonic blade? I hear they're a scam.
Really?
Apparently.
Is that kind of like the blade that the guy fights in The Mandalorian?
Sure.
The blade, the black blade.
Something like that.
Yeah,
it's using ultrasonic to cut, so it's smooth. Like you don't have to use like.
So the blade, it very minutely
vibrates
around?
Yes, ultrasonically.
I feel like a blade vibrating in your hand is the...
You can't feel it though.
Then what's it doing then?
No, you can't feel the blade vibrating.
I watched the video.
But when the blade touches something, like the one that you go to the dentist and then use the ultrasonic cleaner that takes off your plaque from your tooth.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So if you turn it on, you can't feel it. But when you touch a plastic, you can just it vibrates on the plastic and it cuts like a butter.
So I've seen advertisement for it in like the kitchen world, and there's videos of, for example, a person's cutting through a loaf of bread, and they're able to cut through a loaf of bread with no resistance.
Oh,
because the ultrasonic
I have seen these in the chefing world.
Yeah. But I think I've also watched enough videos to watch it like compared to just a regular knife, and there's not much difference.
Is this step one towards like a chainsaw?
You know, like
That's true.
For example, when you cut something off the sprue, when you use a normal blade, sometimes you overcut and you hit the other end and you cut the other end off as well. Yeah. Sometimes you just like it's too hard. You need to
make
use
ultrasonic blades?
So, but with ultrasonic, you just gently push through.
It's like chainsawing.
I do see what you're saying though, because it's like sometimes you're having to apply force with a regular blade. And
it happens to me so many times too.
If you misjudge the force, it can sometimes you can nick all the way.
That's why I cut backwards to myself, so I won't hurt the miniature myself.
Yeah, your skin will grow back.
My skin will heal my miniature, won't it?
Yeah.
That's been my essentially my MO on
I'll definitely go watch on YouTube later and
give it a go. Let us know if it's any good.
Ultrasonic blade. Yeah.
There's always people are always hunting for the next big thing in miniature tools. And
have you seen? Okay, wait. Recently, there is a new way to put on like stencils, like insignia and stuff. Have you seen it recently?
The pens where you pop
no, not even pens. So there is this like a stencil where you just paint on it, and then it uses a stamp.
I've seen it.
A soft stamp, and you stamp on it to take the insignia off. So, and then you just roll it onto the miniature.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. It's because they look like pens, effectively.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The ones I saw anyway.
Yeah, it's so good. Because the roll on is transparent, so you can see through it and place exactly where you need to place it.
It's a tool that's been used for a while, and like you said, like stamp making and all the other other kinds of hobbies, and now it's reaching its way into miniature hobby, where
it's so accurate though. Like
the way we do stencils and like decals, it's like it's a plastic sheet you basically just slide onto your mini and then fix with effectively a varnish. This is an alternative where
it's paint.
What you do is you have a stencil that you are then painting onto a like surface, and then you basically you basically template it onto a surface, and then you have a stamp that then stamps onto the template and then transfers it onto the mini. And you're not moving any sort of decal. You're just moving the paint itself onto the mini.
Exactly as
like a stamp
on the template.
Do you reckon the decal sheets inside Warhammer boxes has got to be one of the least used products of all time?
Yeah, 100%.
Like to me, you know what it reminds me of? You know when you buy a roll of bin bags and you get those little metal wires strips in them to like to tie them off? To me, it's like that. It's like you look at them and you put that's the first thing that goes in the bin.
The truth is the decals are supposed to be like you're mostly finished painting your army now, and now it's time to put the last finishing touches. But that also requires the average person to get through painting their minis.
Yes, that's very true. I guess it's an end step that most people don't ever get to. But it's really easy to fuck them up and make it look like shit, essentially. Correct. You know, like they look really watery and shiny. Because you need to
set the base and you need to put an over.
Yeah. The traditional method is to use like some sort of
like
decal solvent,
and then
a decal fixer. Yeah. You guys ever played StarCraft?
Oh, yeah.
Game ever?
Not my thing. Too fast.
I play StarCraft.
Johnny Coins here, I guess of ours as well. Big fan of StarCraft. Big fan of StarCraft 1. StarCraft 1 is still being played in Korea as an esport.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It's one of those craziest things you ever see, because the amount of reaction speed required to play StarCraft 1 is pretty absurd.
It's now my time to get into it though, because all those people with StarCraft 1 players are in their 50s, so I can like.
I don't know.
The APM is so high, bro.
The RTS genre, like this real-time strategy genre, is already kind of like has a really high skill floor just to get into playing properly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that play have been playing for a very long time. So unless you're happy to go in and get owned a bunch of times before you finally start figuring it out.
I admittedly I like the RTS as a genre, but as a young history buff kid, Age of Empires was definitely my version of that. I admittedly wasn't very good at it, but I did enjoy it a lot. There's just something very satisfying about collecting a giant like collection of like Janissary bombards and like
just throwing bombs at castles.
Building castles and walls and stuff.
Yeah. So I think a lot of tools are coming out to help people complete their miniatures much better, like the decals and stuff like that. Those are, I think, like really, really improved, like freehand. It just eliminates the need of freehand.
I think what's going to happen is as the hobby grows and more people are going to more average consumers are coming in, they want to look for alternatives to what is effectively being just like grandfathered in staples. And instead of doing things the way it's been done 10, 20 years, they're like, what if we just try something new? And new people will come in and kind of innovate those ideas.
I guess you always have to stay on the forefront of what kind of new cool products that you can bring out and put in store and people are going to be interested in.
Yeah.
And I guess those scientists, the hobby scientists, have hope that we're finishing out.
And I also feel like a help of AI could also help improve.
Yeah, imagine printing banners through AI, and then you can just print out like a plastic banner to go on top of your guy. That'd be fucking sick.
Not only that, like for example.
Why are you trying?
Hey, hold on. Let me explain. So if you're painting like a miniature, an awesome miniature, right? And then you want to know where the highlights go. You take a picture of the miniature on AI and tell AI, I need to know where to place, where to highlight.
Interesting.
And then it will tell you like this.
Right.
It highlights, and then this is
this. Almost creates a paint by numbers for you.
Correct. Just paint by numbers, pretty much.
I imagine what's going to happen as well. Yeah. So you
get the perfect.
It's like a software that can also like give you step-by-step instructions on how to get to the end result, right?
All I'm imagining is like I'm looking at ChatGPT or whatever it is, right? And I'm looking at my perfectly painted model on the computer, and then I'm looking at my model that I've tried to replicate it with, and I'm
like, why does it look the same?
Yes,
it's like that one Homer Simpsons at his barbecue.
You know what I'm saying? Like when
why can't mine look like that?
When you submit a miniature like for competition and stuff, and then you want to have like the perfect highlights and stuff, and then AI did it for you.
Yeah,
I like what you're saying. Like maybe you could like position this, like you put the model down and you position the sun or the source of light in where you want it to come from.
Correct.
And like, imagine how good this would be, right? You populate all your minis into the same screen, and then you populate the sun, and then that stays there, and then you can pick the individual minis, and that way they're on the field and you're looking at it, it would actually genuinely look like this.
But the problem is you're never going to put the same mini in the same position.
Nah, right? Brother, at least for the photo shoot, you're putting them all down, you know?
Because I think in terms of just like simulating lighting, there are stuff that there's out there, but not easily accessed, right? I think where AI becomes really useful for the Warhammer gamer is that you can at least, because the whole point of like these large language models, that you can communicate instructions to it more easily than giving a set of instructions like manually through buttons and clicks, right? So you could tell the AI model, hey, I want to paint my army in, let's say, a Crimson Fist color scheme. But specifically, I have my own chapter where like these are the colors and these are the inspirations. Can you generate me a color scheme for this, and how would I paint it? And then it would be like, hey, here's some suggestions on like colors and where to buy, what brand of colors.
Yeah, monetize it, baby. Send me a link and then press I buy, and then it buys all the paints for you straight away.
And then it'd be like step one.
Hey, guess what? I did use ChatGPT for my living hall. Yeah. So I got my sofa in, and then I told ChatGPT, I put a photo of my hall into ChatGPT, and it's like, look, these colors are not blending in well.
Excuse me, computer overlords.
Like, tell me what I need to do to blend in these colors. I was like, easy. I was like, all you need is this color of a rug.
Yeah.
Buy this color rug, and it will blend the sofa into your white walls and your cool gray towels.
So did you buy the colored rug?
Yes.
Does it look good?
I haven't arrived.
Impending.
Yes. He gave me the exact photo as well, and then tell you what color, and then like if you want to be like edgy, you can get this pattern. You want to be like this.
I'm admittedly not a user of ChatGPT at all, right? How far is it advanced? Has it just told you the color of the rug you should get, or did it tell you where to buy the rug from?
Both.
Ooh, both. So somebody like the marketing, like the monetizing part of it is like effective. Like, you know, the whole point is it tells you what you should be doing, right?
Correct.
That's what it's answering questions for you. But the monetizing comes from, well, like it's saying, hey, this is what we think you should do, and here's how you buy it from Amazon. And then theoretically, if you click through the link, then they would get a kickback from the purchase from Amazon.
No, they don't kick. They just
that's definitely the plan, though.
That's
eventually, yes. But all these large language models, these AI models right now, don't make profit off the public sector.
They make profit from you subscribing it.
They fucking
no. They actually, the amount of money they make from subscribers is minuscule because where they actually are surviving is investor funding. Right now it's called an AI bubble because none of the big AI, like let's say the two major AI players, right, Anthropic and OpenAI, right, those the major companies, they don't make money right now. They're surviving because they're just constantly getting funded by investors, because the idea is that right now is that this is a new and upcoming trending technology where the person to seize the market will eventually survive and make crazy amounts of profit, right?
Just like Uber.
Like Uber, right? Yeah. But right now it's just a bubble because it's all just funneled through by investor funding to reach the top. So because the cost of sustaining these models
is too high.
It's just insurmountably high right now. The cost of running.
Is there a chance it could all like fail and go away?
No. Because what's going to happen is that the model that wins...
Too many people have too much money.
It's going to be like any other like advanced technology. The technology that wins is going to go into government, and then the regular like plebeian humans of us, the regular everyday person just gets like a trimmed down version to use, like GPS.
Yeah.
We get like the usable GPS, and the government gets the ones that can fly bombs into houses.
Yeah, true.
That's right. So for example,
OpenAI now has the American government contract for using OpenAI technology backends for warfare.
Yeah, because I'll make
because Anthropic, right, the competitor OpenAI got blasted by Trump because the Anthropic didn't want to use their software for military use. So Trump went, "Fuck you guys! We're moving all our technology away from you guys, and we're going to OpenAI instead."
They want to be peaceful.
Good luck with that.
So because these companies, they're not IPO'd yet. Both Anthropic and OpenAI are still private.
Sam Altman.
So they can really be pushed around. It pretty easy. Yeah.
Right. So what I used AI another one for was I couldn't find a specific range hood for the space that I have. I got very limited space. I put in the measurement that I have and got Google AI to find me a range hood, which it did.
But is Google AI every time you Google now it's using Google AI?
Yeah. So it suggested me a range hood.
It also throws it to the top now, and I don't know if you've known like the average public consumer now just uses whatever the top AI result now.
Yeah.
You see it on like Instagram Reels.
It's pretty good. It found the exact range that I need. Yes.
How come you're talking about like an exhaust fan above your oven, right?
No, like a range hood, yeah.
Yeah. So was there not a range hood in there already?
Yeah, but it's noisy.
Oh, okay.
William wants one of those nice ones.
The fans going on or something.
Yeah, there's fans, and it's just shit. So I got a new one.
I did see a really fun story where someone was using ChatGPT, like the paid ChatGPT, has their work tool, and their work tool had a shared one, and the lady was using it to write her own explicit like novel, I guess, but also in the workplace. So the other team members getting on would have to like see her explicit novel writing as in amongst her actually work that she's required to submit.
Yeah.
And the lady had maxed out their memory capacity because there was so much of it in there. And the other teammates were like, "Really, we need you to like remove some of this, please." Which I think is fun.
Speaking about getting exposed, you guys all have Windows 11?
Windows 11?
You guys use Windows 11? Okay, so one of the Windows 11 features is, if you guys have noticed, when you use the notepad, it caches your like whatever you previously had on notepad, and it'll automatically reopen it to whatever you previously had for convenience, which is nice.
I assume that's what it always does. Yeah.
In the past, it wouldn't, right? In the past, unless you specifically save your notepad, it will just reopen to a blank notepad.
I must have been doing that then.
And then so Windows 11 caches it. And it's been really catching people off guard.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of these things online where people have, like they tab the screen and then they got passwords and stuff.
Yeah, they got all sorts of like save stuff in there, like Windows Notepad, just catch people off guard. But there's been some big ones, which is like streamers opening up Notepad and opening to links, being like, "Oh, these are child pornography."
Yeah, I think I saw that story as well. Yeah.
One of the big streamers got caught out because he opened his Notepad and it just right there in front of his audience was like, "Oh, links to pornography," and it's like, "Oh, cool guy."
Gross behavior.
Oh, is that his own? Oh, okay. I thought it's like open someone else's one.
No, dude. If you're gonna
imagine that's how you get caught. Fucking.
Okay. If you're gonna be a freak, don't be an online guy as well. They don't max together.
All right.
Easy. Be a freak in your own time, right?
Yeah, but AI has helped me a lot. I would like to thank AI for helping me.
I don't think it's the fight against AI is. I mean, there's no fight against AI. It's inevitable because the way it's going to work out is it's going to go into government sector and being used for
like you and I
anyway. But
definitely on the virulently against spectrum for like art in AI. But at what point are we fighting a battle that is useless?
We are fighting a battle that is useless. I've accepted that. But the problem is that the way the AI is being used at the moment, it is a degradation of. So let's say the educational sector, right? We can all agree that we can all agree from an artistic standpoint. There's a lot of there's downsides to the way like art is being produced and the degradation of like the human effort that it requires to actually produce some of the creative element.
When the skill to do something is so low, it removes the want for someone to put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
So
and there's an inherent human want to have something that is of high quality, and the high quality requires someone that has actually put real effort into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, that's a whole different conversation we could talk about, right? Because there's also people that also just don't mind AI art or AI whatever, right? In the educational sector right now, AI is really changing the way teachers have to teach, students are being taught, and just it's changing the market, right? Because so let's say, for example, right, in my case in university, right, students that are getting to the final year of university, in the past, students would actually have to prove their merit. People actually have to, by their own merit, prove that they can reach that final year. They've gone through all the filtering and they've received a minimum level of skill set required enough so that they reach the final year and they can go into the wide open world and be like, hey, I'm actually a qualified student now.
Yeah, they don't enter the workforce and they're just fucking useless.
So for example, I'm doing capstone right now at uni, right? And then in the past, so the unit coordinator talked about in the past how maybe there would be, like he talks about like 6-ish years ago, before AI was readily available, he would have 40 students reach this capstone unit. And now there's over 100.
So it's like it's band-aiding some of the lack of actual skill through them. A lot of people just being able to like phone it in, essentially.
People that can just phone it in. Yeah. And I know they're phoning it, because right now I'm doing a capstone project with 6 other students, right? And we're drafting up what's called a software requirement specification documentation. So whenever you make a project or whenever you start working on a piece of software, it's good to write up what is an SRS. And SRS basically is these are the specifications of what we want our product to do. And basically it's a contract. And when like we're all working in different parts of the project, and we had a couple of students submit their part, and I'm reading through it, and I know just reading through it that this doesn't read right. This doesn't read from someone that's typed it out themselves. Like for fun, I like to just like let me go to ChatGPT and just type in a couple prompts to like see if I can generate something similar. And the word for word, beat for beat, it would be the same thing. And I'll be like, I know for a fact this person just generated it.
I guess the real question is that if they can phone it in and pass here, can they, when they go into the workforce, can they then just phone it in while they're at the workforce?
So what's happening,
will they be found out pretty quickly?
They usually get caught out pretty quickly. So they're just phoning it for no reason at all. So what's going to happen is the market has changed a lot. So for example, I'm in a career that is very much affected by AI, right? All the employers have now, hiring managers are now way more strict with who they hire, and there's way more of like a proven criteria required before you can even get through the interview process. Like, for example, they check now your course weighted average to be like, are you an actual 80+% student? You know, we can't just like, are your grades reflective? And now you also like a lot of like companies also require you to go through tests to be like, hey, we need you to actually sit through these tests.
I guess that I was going to question was like, I wonder if they do a test on a computer or something where they don't have access to like
it's very common
an
now.
AI model.
Correct.
I feel like it's one of those things, right? It's like the technology is new, so some people are for it and some people are against it. But something like phones or like the internet, when these first come about, I know, I'm sure it was like with calculators, right? When calculators first started using math, and like mathematicians before had just been doing all the workings out in their head or on paper.
Yeah.
I'm sure plenty of those guys were like, oh, well, people using calculators is going to result in the lack of ability for people to do like math in the way that's done before. But now it's so pervasive. Why would you do like a lot of that math without using?
Do you think like all this AI thing will devalue tertiary education?
No, I think what it is, we're going through a transition period where a lot of it is changing a lot, and we're calling that kind of turbulence. I think eventually things will settle, and what's going to happen? I think the long term, what's going to happen is that AI will take away a lot of grunt work, tertiary education, like grunt work that required tertiary education in the past. And then the people that would be doing that are just going to go back to working like blue collar jobs.
True. I guess
the economy is shifting itself back into a position where it just wants people back in blue collar jobs, because for the last 10 years, the economy has been like, hey, if you want a good job, go get like a university education and go find yourself in a white collar position somewhere. You know, whether you're like an engineer somewhere or you're like a computer science guy somewhere. And now it's going to become, hey, go work in a factory.
I guess overall,
you just say it wouldn't affect tertiary education.
No, because the people that are actually getting qualified enough to become like real engineers and like real,
not like of course you would. Then it will affect. Isn't it going to affect tertiary education right now? Because like all the subjects, it's going to be affected by AI. Then, no?
Yeah, because AI will be so AI will be incorporated into how they're taught. But I'm talking about how, because what's happening right now is that in the past, you have an X amount of students graduating.
Correct.
X amount of students are actually qualified enough to actually, and like the vast majority of the students that have actually graduated are generally qualified enough to these fields now. So what's going to happen is that in the future now, it's going to be way stricter hiring.
Correct.
and then there's going to be way stricter requirements to even enter university in the first place.
Okay.
So the universities have adapted. Instead of offering like, hey, we're offering all these degrees for whatever now, we realize that AI is going to take these degrees, and they're just going to offer like degrees that actually require like a tangible human element. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
I guess it's like we've also been told for the last 5-10 years now that there's not enough plumbers and electricians and bricklayers. So maybe it's like that meme of the kids yearn for the mines. You know what I mean? It's like the AI is going to do all the easy work, and we're back outside laying bricks again. So
yeah. Yeah, I feel like...
Are you preparing your kids, William, to like...
I don't know. Like, I told them, like, as long as your skills are, like, not...
irrelevant.
No, if it can be done by AI, then I always feel like you shouldn't pursue it.
Yeah, there's a lot of AI pro people who are just like, hey, if your job can be replaced by AI, it wasn't a real job anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of their mentality.
That's how the horses felt in the 1900s. Yeah, I don't know. You guys know Square Up, right? The company that does the FPOS terminals. We use them specifically at the boards and at Burger Boy. That company did a big thing a couple of months ago where they laid off 50%, just more than 50% of their employees. The employees had created AI models to replace themselves, and then once that job was complete, the CEO made a statement, and they were like, hey, we're about to do some layoffs, but we want to make sure that everybody's aware we're in a good financial position. I'm saying this to you now because we're not laying off because we need to lay off. We're laying off because we just don't need these people anymore.
Yep.
And they laid off 50% of the thing, and their stock rose by more than 3 times. They 3x their stock overnight. And I feel like all that does, that ripple effect, sends to every other major technology company in the world that we should be laying off 50% of our staff because their value of their product, like their stock, went up by 3x. So it's like, how can you not follow that model? And I think that what was really poignant about him doing I'm forgetting the word, but like to the public being like, hey, I'm letting you know this beforehand, because I guess if you see a company lay off a bunch of staff, usually you're like, when we talk about some of the big game companies where they're laying off all their staff, you're like, oh shit, they're in trouble. Obviously they're not making the money they need. And he's like, nah, our lives are the best they've ever been. We're making more money than ever. We're expecting to make another huge profit this year. We're just laying the people off because we could literally make more money by not having to pay.
So that's something that literally happened the other week. So one of the biggest tech companies in Australia is Atlassian. Do you know Atlassian?
Yeah, Atlassian, yeah.
No, I don't know.
They're a Sydney-based tech company. They make a lot of like software solutions and project management solutions. They're one of the biggest. I think they have like something like 10,000 employees, like one of the biggest companies for tech in Australia. And just this is the headline right now. Atlassian has announced it will cut 1,600 jobs, roughly 10% of its global workforce, as co-founder and CEO Mike Cannon-Brooks moves to restructure the business around AI and enterprise growth. So it's restructuring around AI and improving growth by cutting everyone's jobs.
I think for hundreds of years, we've admonished big business for cutting staff, and it's usually the cutting of staff is met with vitriol and anger and clearly you're not running your business very well, things are failing, it's time to pull out, sell your stocks now. Whereas it's completely changed now when the removal of staff to be replaced by this other key thing is now met with
positive shareholder growth.
Basically.
So especially especially
in the future, you're definitely going to see wait staff going to be like a good high paying job because there's no ones working at wait staff.
If more and more people get fired from the technology jobs, there's going to be, it'll go back to a too many wait staff. So then their pay will go down again.
So the problem. I don't necessarily say it's going to happen, and I'm not future sighted enough to say it will ever happen, but the dystopian future is let's say the skill required jobs get replaced by AI, right? And then people have to go to lower skill requirement jobs, let's say working in a factory, right? But then the factory workers will get replaced by robots, which are being developed because they can work 24/7 tirelessly with no pay. And then where do the humans go? And then where do we go?
Where's that? How far from that future where we're lying on a beach just chilling out while the robots do all our work for us, are we?
Yeah.
Are we on the way, or?
But then they're like, we don't need these people anymore because there's too many mouths to feed. Let's just find a way to get rid of these people now.
Yeah. Is it a utopia situation in the future where the robots do all the work and humans can just live without any worry, or does the population reduce down to
we know human nature enough to know that that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
People don't coexist. When people have nothing to do, people don't coexist.
So does the future of humanity just
we'll get bored and start killing each other again. We'll get bored and start waging wars.
The whole planet's population ends up being like 85 people. It's just like no other humans are required.
But obviously, this is a little bit like speculative dystopian talk here. We're in a kind of a changing market, and once again, AI is one of those things. So the truth is, here's Kang's predictions. Here's my predictions right now. AI is starting to reach a point where there's only so many people around the world that can invest into AI research, and AI is ballooning to a point where it is receiving so much funding, but is not producing enough results because the tech is starting to plateau, right? So the tech will plateau because of the physical hardware capabilities. AI centers are sucking up so much tech. It is literally driving up the prices of like
everything else,
mineral resources, and taking out like, there are companies out there which are no longer selling to the public sector because they're like, our contracts with AI companies will just fund our entire company anyway. Why should we sell RAM to the public sector when we can just sell to the AI sector?
Yeah, I've seen that some small technology items like toasters and stuff like that just aren't available.
The chips right now are like, why would we? We're just going to sell chips to these giant AI data centers. Like you saw on Dubai being a development country is like, what if we just restructure everything to make AI centers instead?
That wall project. We watched that video the other day, right? I was really sad. You know the wall?
The Dubai giant wall project?
The one of moving wall?
Yeah, and this video Kang showed us, so now they're just thinking about scrapping that whole concept and then just making it one big data AI center.
What?
Yeah.
What does that thing to be like? It's like a giant train,
because
right?
It was like a giant silver mirrored wall.
Yeah, it's a train.
It's a train?
It's a moving wall that moves.
Why do they want to move it? But anyway, because there's so much money being funneled into this technology sector, it's like a 2000.com bubble, right? Everyone wants to jump on and have a slice of that investor pie because, hey, we can get money now. It's like printing money. But anyway, the technology is
You know what I want from AI? To make me a perfect deck.
A perfect deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried. It's really bad.
That's so shit, though.
It's really bad at building magic decks.
Like, make me a good Magic the Gathering deck that's like, what the hell are you doing, bro?
Because, William, you got to remember, AI is only extrapolating all the information off the internet that other people are doing and then creating something. Yeah. And what do we know about people building decks? They're usually fucked.
So the technology will reach a point where, because right now it's starting to plateau, the actual like returns starting to plateau in terms of how effective the AI is. There's two branching paths, right? And they're both resulting the same way. If we go to quantum computing, and then the AI can just get infinitely strong, it get infinitely smart. It's fucking crazy. But if the quantum computing doesn't become a sustainable enough model, and it probably still won't be for the public sector for a very, very long time, I expect what's going to happen with all the AI models is that after the investor funding dries up, they will be left with like maybe one company left standing, and that one company will realize, hey, in order for us to become a sustainable model. In my brain, I'm mixing up many models. In order to become a sustainable business model, we have to then just live by being a company that is funded by government contract or private business contracts, and then we just give a little slice of pie to the public sector, just for the fact that like we still get research data and we still get a lot of data from the public sector, but we are a business that's sustainable at the fact that we're going to be used by the governments.
I guess it also situates himself as like next decade's Amazon as well, right? So,
yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy times, my friends.
So I think for the average person,
would you become a cyborg, Kang?
I think the average person, the large language models don't get much better than what we have now.
Yeah,
the large language models and the AI sector
What's your limit on cyborg,
insanely
Kang?
strong in potential of warfare.
What's your limit on cyborg, Kang?
My limit on cyborg?
Mine's all penis. Just
what would you wanna?
What I wanted to do is I wanted to like when I take my pants down in front of a lovely woman, I wanted to like roll down and then flop. So it goes,
and also play music.
You know,
like that. You went ting.
No. I wanted to be rolled up in a reel, like a fire hose reel, and then it rolls out, and then so the final slap,
and it plays Darth Vader's walk-in music.
Amazing. I mean.
Yeah.
Would you do a cyborg?
Nah, I'm actually lately I've become very pro-human.
Okay.
These days,
oh damn! Select your class, human.
These days,
it's lately.
These days, I'm racist to the clankers.
Damn,
the damn clankers are coming for my job.
How much cyborg till it's more cyborg than human? Like if I get my knees done, if I just have robotic knees,
you can go all the way until it's just your brain.
You can go okay, but that feels like the dark Mechanicum bit where it's like when it's just brain, you're all robot then, right?
Yeah, good enough. Keep the brain in the jar and just have a.
Would you put like a enhanced chip on your brain? So if someone asks you like, how much is this? $25.50.
Your voice changes and you just go straight into robot mode. I feel like I say no, but I probably would. Let's be honest. I'm for taking advantage.
The truth is, the immediate moment I'd like turn 60 and like body parts of mine are starting to give away, I'll be like, just take my legs and replace them with the robot legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want some fun ones. I want to I'd like the deep future where the technology is so good, so I can get some like, I don't know, some like Speedy Gonzalez legs.
Yeah,
that,
I was
like,
gonna say
that spin really quickly.
Could you get like an Inspector Gadget kind of thing where it's
What's that game?
Gadget
Is it,
extender legs?
you know the we talk
Cyber what the game?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? You know the Skitari model that's a sniper rifle gun. He's got the really tall legs. In 40K.
Yeah.
So
Another one.
Someone had taken the old TV antennas and replaced his legs so that it extends up and down on the base. It's fucking awesome.
Modeling for advantage. I line of sight.
It's crazy. Not bad.
What's your day-to-day issue right now that if you could have AI fix it or replace the problem for you, what do you do? What's your number one problem? If it was quantum computing exists and it has its infinite ability to like fix a day-to-day problem, what's it doing for you?
Man, if quantum computing existed, I think there'd be more problems than problems fixed. A lot of the current infrastructures right now around the world would implode on themselves.
We're not worrying about that, Kang. We're worrying about like, are you making it clean your teeth for you? I think mine would.
No, I'll get the quantum, because if I had a quantum computer, I'll get it to hack all the banks around the world and just give it to me.
Well, banks have quantum computer too.
I'll become the central bank.
Wait, hold on. The banks will have quantum computer too to fight you.
No, we're talking if I had a quantum computer.
Yeah, if you have, they have.
Like for me, I would have to answer the phone for me, but in my voice.
If I had a perfect robot that can do things for me, I don't know. I'll probably just like get it to like grind a World of Warcraft account and just be like, and I can come home. I can come home from work and be like, look at that.
I want the AI
to thinking about grinding on it. He's like, I can't say that. I'll add Warcraft to
I want to manage my finance.
Manage your finance. Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, manage my finance. So here's my savings. Manage it so I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah. William goes to buy his models, and his phone just says, "Your AI has denied you access to your funds." Oh, sorry, sir. Your robot has declined for you. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. I'll give the robot a brush, and you'd be like, "Pay my minis for me." I don't have time for this.
I can picture so well in my head what I want on my minis to be there, but the reality after 30 years of doing this hobby of it actually happening is so low.
Yeah,
it's so wildly low. If I could put my model into like a box and then all the little brushes came out and AI painted it, that'd be
that would be cool, right?
That would be cool. Then you could be like, no, I want the eye patch to be red now, and then you put it back in, then it goes.
We got to an hour of this podcast, gentlemen. We're wrapping up now. The good news is that we can save our topic about painting Warhammer till next time.
You guys are doing a lawcast with Master Matt.
Yeah, we'll get so Danny's going to be away for 2 weeks. He's on a trip to New Zealand. We're going to try and get another episode in with Matt. We're going to talk about the lore. William, when did you start playing Magic? What set roughly?
I think it's like Ice Age, maybe.
Perfect, because that's about
that's crazy.
Where we are.
That's I think Matt's doing the second episode of Ice Age.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone. See you around.